Good evening. I'm going to do a review for the Xerjoff Casamorati perfume called Fiero. I have it in this vial here. I'm going to start the review by telling you what the website says, and then I'll tell you what my thoughts are. So the Casamorati website says this about this perfume. A truly refined scent for the perfume connoisseur, Fiero Casamorati is a spicy yet woody experience that evokes a bygone era. Opening with fresh bergamot and lemongrass, it leads to an herbal art of thyme, tarragon, and mint, lending the scent a truly unique accord. In Fiero Casamorati, warming notes of nutmeg, patchouli, and vetiver provide a classic base. An inspiring vintage scent that celebrates the ancient art of Italian perfumery. And then the listed notes are lemongrass, Calabrian lemon, bergamot, and blood orange. And then there is neroli and mint, and then patchouli, Mysore sandalwood, coumarin, and vetiver. All right, so I think that this description from the website is pretty spot on. It is definitely vintage inspired. You can tell that this perfume is the modern interpretation of scents like Eau Sauvage, Mustache, Pour Monsieur from Chanel, those fragrances that, come from around the 50s up until the 60s and 70s. Those sort of aromatic, citrusy, chypres and fougères. This is what this is based off of those kind of perfumes. So you should know that if you are thinking of trying this perfume, that it is going to smell retro. It's not going to smell contemporary the way you might find other perfumes that are citrus aromatics, like in the line of Aqua Allegorias or Acqua di Parma, their blue line, stuff like that. It's very different, but it is so good. These kind of perfumes are so addicting. So I did mention that it is inspired by scents like Eau Sauvage, and that is a perfume that is most associated with Fiero, it seems, online. I have a sample of Eau Sauvage here with me right now, and yes, I can see how they are related. However, I find Eau Sauvage, I've never really loved Eau Sauvage, to be honest. I find it to be a little bit like musty, and yes, it is retro, but there's something about the citrus in that, and I think it might be the use of the aroma chemical citral, which was, I could be wrong, but I was told that that was used a lot for creating citrus accords in these older perfumes, and that I think I'm picking up on that. So the citrus I'm finding in Eau Sauvage to be kind of musty and almost like urine-like. That's just me being kind of dramatic about it. It's not that bad. So I don't find Fiero to be that much like Eau Sauvage. I find it to be a lot more like this perfume right here, which I have described to you in the past video. Eau du Sud from Annick Goutal. I think it was made in the late 90s. This is a lot more like Fiero in my opinion. This one, yeah, they're very, very similar, except this one is a lot more, it's very basil centric, and it's very I'll say it's kind of like wine. It has that like wine like quality to the experience of wearing it. Just kind of like savory and deep, and vinegar is not the best description, but like it's sort of like a vinegariness to it, but in a good way. And I'll say that this doesn't, it has a little bit of that wine like quality. However, it has, and I have it on my wrist too, it has that lemongrass in it, which really differentiates it from those other citrus and citrus aromatic perfumes from the past. Yes, it is supposed to be inspired by those, but that lemongrass note is very, very strong, and I find that it kind of like modernizes it, because those perfumes, in my experience, they don't usually contain lemongrass, so that makes it very different. And you really do have to like lemongrass to enjoy this perfume. I know there's other scents on the market, and I think Cactus Garden from Louis Vuitton is one of them that contain lemongrass. And from what I read, the lemongrass note and that isn't so apparent. Like it melds with the other notes, so you can't exactly pick it out. But in Fiero, you definitely get lemongrass, and that lemongrass carries through the wearing of this perfume. Concerning the other notes, I'm not really getting a strong lemon or bergamot or blood orange. No, I don't. Not really getting the neroli and mint. It's just a lot of lemongrass, but there is greenness to it as well. The description also classifies it as a spicy kind of perfume. I don't really find it to be spicy. I will say that after a while, the lemongrass in this fragrance, I think it's the lemongrass, but it kind of starts to take on a clove like smell, which is okay. And that's kind of interesting that it transforms that way. And it's, don't get me wrong, it's still very lemongrass like, but it takes on a bit of this clove quality to it, and that's as spicy as I would say it gets in my experience. But you know, the notes that they list on the website, there's nothing in it that's actually very spicy or spicy at all. So I don't know where they're getting that. I would just say that this is a citrus aromatic kind of perfume. It's really great. Performance wise, it is strong. I find that it lasts at least 8 hours, and if you put it on your clothes, I'm still smelling it on my clothes the next day, and that's without heavy application. So that's a good thing. Yeah, it lasts. I'm not finding that it projects really loudly, but for me, mostly the concern when I'm wearing fragrances is usually about the longevity. That's what I care about the most. I don't want to be too loud, and I don't think with this kind of perfume you'd want to be loud. It does best as a more of a subtle kind of scent. See, what else do I have to say about it? Yeah, I just think it's really great. If you do like the more old-fashioned style citrus perfumes, citrus aromatic perfumes, green chypres, stuff like that, I think you would really enjoy this. As for me, I do not like lemongrass very much, to be honest. It's really just, to me, it can kind of come across a little bit like sweet, and a little bit like a lemon lollipop, and that's really not for me. But it's a very well done lemongrass in this perfume. Personally, I just wish that it was toned down a bit, and maybe manipulated so that you couldn't really pull it out of this perfume, more blended. But it's still great, and I'll probably end up using this sample vial that I have here. I don't know if I'll get myself a bottle. I don't know that right now, because I really like this one, and it's very similar and a lot cheaper. You can get this online for under $100 for a larger size even. And the performance on Eau de Soude is not bad. I get like moderate performance with it, but there is more sprays that are needed to get that moderate performance. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really comfortable with Eau de Soude, and it doesn't have that lemongrass note. And it's just very comforting and refreshing to me, and I feel unique when I wear it. So that's my review for Fiero. Let me know if you have any questions or thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a great rest of your night or day. Bye.